The most amazing, truly sensational flourless chocolate cake, absolutely foolproof to make, almost flourless chocolate cake. This close, just this close. Stick around, I'll show you a 100% gluten-free version. I'm Rob Nee, and welcome to Sweet Spot. This cake is intensely chocolate without being overly sweet. Rich and creamy, so smooth and delicious. This is a chocolate cake. You'll want to use the best chocolate you can find. We're looking for 60 to 70% cacao. In some grocery stores, you'll be able to find brands like Scharfenberger, Valrhona, or Calibet. And pretty much anywhere you'll find Ghirardelli. 60%, 72%, or some combination. In bars or chips. If you're using chips, read the ingredients. We don't want any wax in there. The wax is used to hold the chips in their shape. Preheat your oven at 350 degrees, and then we want to melt the butter and chocolate together. You can use a microwave. I don't have one, but I do use a bain-marie. What is that? It's a pot of water, simmering water, with a heat-proof bowl resting on the pan without touching the water. The bottom of the bowl should not touch the water because we don't want the chocolate to scorch. You'll find the full recipe in the YouTube description down below, including measurements in metric. I use an inexpensive kitchen scale to measure out my chocolate. Place your bowl on the scale, tear the scale back to 0, that's T-A-R-E, and then add the chocolate. Till you get to 200 grams. Any leftovers? You know, this is good chocolate. You might as well enjoy it. If you're using chocolate pellets or even chocolate chips, there's no need to break up your chocolate for a bar. Just break it into smallish pieces. For anything larger, you might want to actually chop the chocolate. In with the butter, then onto our pot of simmering water. Melting the chocolate is a slow and gentle process. Give it a stir every now and then. And then when it's all but melted, remove it from the heat. You'll want to cool this just a bit. Now's the perfect time to do your pan. An 8 or 9 inch round pan, we want to butter the outside, particularly the edge, the corner. Is that a corner where the bottom meets the side? Whatever that is. And of course the sides pretty well. I use parchment paper. You can cut out a round from a larger piece of parchment, or if you have a round, just put it in. Press it down, we don't want that to move. The chocolate has cooled a bit. And you know, one of the amazing things about this recipe, it's simple to make. One bowl, no stand mixer, no hand mixer. You can actually use a whisk. We want to add in our sugar and stir to combine. Only takes a few seconds to thoroughly combine. 5 eggs. If you'd like, you can crack them individually into a bowl to make sure there's no shell in it. Or you can live on the wild side and just go for it. Mix each one thoroughly. With the 5th and last egg added, the mixture will have thickened quite a bit. Make sure it's thoroughly mixed. Then our final ingredient, a tablespoon of flour to provide a little stability for the cake. We want to sift that in and fold it with a spatula rather than a whisk. Slowly fold this in. And then we pour it into the prepared pan. Smooth it out. And then into the oven, we want to check it at about 24 minutes. At 24 minutes, the cake has a little too much jiggle. I'm going to keep it in for another 2 minutes. And there we go, just the slightest wiggle. Out of the oven and onto a cooling rack. until completely cool. And the cake has completely cooled. There's some cracks in it, not too bad, and that's not to be totally unexpected. The cracks are fine. We'll cover them up. I'll show you how. Then with a small spatula or butter knife, you want to run this around the outside just to loosen it. Hopefully the bottom, the parchment paper did its trick, and they'll just flip right out. With the edges loose, we now want to flip this over to a wire rack. Keep your fingers crossed. And it dropped. And then I'm using a cardboard round. I want to put that, center it, because you're not going to be able to move it after this. Flip it back. Voila. And onto a cake plate. To add a little classiness to this, dress up the cake a little bit and cover up those cracks and unevenness. I simply sprinkle a little powdered sugar. And we're ready to take a slice. Right into it, not too big of a slice. This looks delicious. It's very, very dark. It looks moist. It is creamy. Look at this thing. It is deep, dark chocolate. And let's go for the taste test, my favorite part. It's fudgy looking too. This is chocolate heaven. If you like chocolate, you're gonna love this. It is so dense and the chocolate is so intense. Super creamy. It's soft. It's softer than fudge, I think. Not quite mousse softness, but oh my gosh, it is delicious. So tender. This scores a 10. It's so easy to make, 5 ingredients. It's so easy to make. It's easy cleanup, and it's spectacular. Every time we've served this to our friends and family, rave reviews. Make this chocolate cake. Flourless, almost. I promised you 100% gluten-free version, and I made one. You do the same steps. You melt the chocolate in butter, you let it cool a little bit, you add in the sugar, you mix that well with a whisk. The 5 eggs are added one by one, whisking well between each egg. Then we add gluten-free 1-for-1 baking flour. It's only a tablespoon. And then we have this beautiful cake. Let's do a taste test. Just as moist as the first one, I can tell. Creamy and delicious looking. And the taste, this is so good. This recipe is nothing short of sensational. Make it, either version, you can't go wrong. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. Hit the like button down below. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe now and hit the bell icon to be notified for all future videos. Appreciate any feedback. Love to read the comments. Until next time. This is it for Sweet Spot. Check this out. Or maybe this one. Seriously, that's good. This is amazing. That's amazing. This is good.